Hello everyone, welcome to Stream Joker. Topics in this Joker card section, we are going present history and other important topics, stay tuned. Do you know Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara, rather African Che Guevara? No, not many people know about him. If he's a Westerner, everyone would have known him. He's a communist figure from Africa. Let's dig in. Born Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara in the town of Yako, northern Burkina Faso, it seemed like the young man was predestined to become a priest. He had brilliant grades in his school, in Bobo-Dioulasso, and was an excellent student. Just as he signed up to join the seminar, he decided to turn around completely and instead joined up the military. He did so by entering the military academy of Kadiogo in Ouagadougou. It is there that he was introduced to progressive ideas through informal classes that one of his civilian teachers, Adama Touré, was giving secretly to a group composed of his best students. There, he learned about communism as well as the Chinese Revolution and the Soviet Revolution. It is during his military service that he met fellow soldiers who would later all spearhead with him what would be the revolution of the Upper Volta. Amongst these fellow soldiers was a certain Blaise Compaoré who would become his closest ally, before backstabbing him. With these fellow leftist officers, he created the Regroupement des Officiers Communistes, a secret cell of communist sympathizers within the army of the Upper Volta. Sankara became president of Upper Volta in 1983, as he was 33 years old. He led the country until his death in 1987. As his rule was characterized by bad relationship with nearby countries still loyal to Europe, pressure became too much and a coup was organized by 12 of his most trusted officials, led by his longtime comrade, Blaise Compaoré. Blaise Compaoré assumed the presidency then, and did all he could to snuff the memory and policies of Sankara. Compaoré had to flee to the Ivory Coast in 2015 after multiple coup attempts and uprisings threatened him. From day one of his presidency, Sankara undertook the task of transforming the country radically. Not only did he change its symbols, such as its name, flag and anthem, which he wrote himself, but he also undertook radical reforms of the society. He dismantled tribal systems and traditions, causing the ire of many, but at the same time brought the country towards gender equality, outlawed female genital mutilation, forced marriages and polygamy, and great improvements in healthcare, vaccination and construction of hospitals. It might have been that Sankara project was undermined by the people under him, with some of the People's Tribunal actually turning extremely corrupt very quickly. Sentences were harsh, with some of the non-productive workers forced into a form of temporary slavery or unpaid work. Unions and members of the old regime were harshly persecuted. At the center of Sankara's policies was the idea of self-sufficiency, which can be compared to the Juche idea, in some ways, with the idea that if Africa accepts foreign aid from the West, it will always be servile to the West. Sankara broke up with any form of foreign aid and promoted hard work to make Burkina Faso produce everything it needed by, for example, redistributing the land to the peasants. Sankara was also extremely humble, limiting his possessions to a handful of things, changing the fancy vehicles of the ministers for the cheapest available car, and constantly living in his simple military clothes. In the 4 years under Sankara, Burkina Faso became a completely different country. For example, the literacy rate of Burkina Faso went from 13% to 73% during his tenure. After his execution, however, a lot was done to erase anything Sankara had done, but his memory and some of his policies have been kept and remembered throughout West Africa. Now that Blaise Compaoré was overthrown, the figure of Thomas Sankara is being restored in Burkina Faso, with progressively more thinkers claiming to be in his lineage and his face becoming an inspiring popular icon. Although his presidency was very short-lived, Thomas Sankara is still an immense figure in the spirit of Africa. He might have been very controversial, but he also represents an ideal of anti-imperialism in the mind of many. To this day, it is impossible to travel around West Africa without seeing a mural of the man, t-shirts with his face, or hearing songs about him. Sadly, he was killed by his own friends, but still he lives in many African heart. Has hero salute to Sankara. Thank you for watching Joker card, more to come, stay tuned. If you like this video, subscribe, follow and press bell button. Stream Joker.